The Sopranos. What is it really about? Is it about a New Jersey mafia boss who has to balance between his mafia life and his personal life while also exploring themes about psychiatry, existence in general, and which serves as a deeper metaphor for life in America? No, I don't think so. It's really about music. Of course it's about music. It's called The Sopranos. Oh, that was stupid. And I haven't seen a video like this, so I want to make one, just for fun. This is my little list, like, Sopranos American Idol going on here, about who is the best musician in the show. Now, obviously, the show isn't specifically about music, of course, but my ground rule for this video is any character made my list is someone who we see showing some sort of musical acumen, some sort of instrument abilities, anyone we see performing something on the show. Let's start off with the instrument we all have, the voice. Let's start with the man himself, Tony Soprano. And he does quite a bit of singing to himself and to others. He's a fun-loving Italian who likes to belt out his favorite tunes. So, how do they sound?
I'm a fool to do your dirty work. Go, yeah.
Under the boardwalk, witty schlong change my house.
Da 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 da. Maybe, baby, I'll have you.
Tony mostly sings for fun. He either sings for himself, his own amusement, or just, as a comical device. A friend pointed out that maybe it runs in his family.
Take my lips, I wanna lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them.
The way Tony's dad is singing reminds me of the way Tony sings. Not in the fact that they sound the same, but in the way they're using singing. They're using it as more of like a comedic device to lighten the mood or, to elevate the moment of whatever they're in. It's not like a serious performance. They're just having fun. In the first season or two, Meadow is shown to quite often be singing for her school projects or school clubs, whatever you call it, the chorus club, the choir, or whatever, it's Christmas concert thing.
While the moon her watch is keeping all through the night.
And she seems to land the role pretty well live in the concert. In fact, so well that it brings Tony to tears. Maybe he has other things on his mind at that moment. I think he does. But the music helped. But the best singer in the immediate Soprano family is, surprise, Uncle Junior. So when they're at the end of season 3 and they're all at this lunch after Jackie Jr.'s funeral, it's the repast, whatever they call those things, I don't know. Uncle Junior starts belting out this old Italian ballad and it brings everyone to tears.
Perché mi dighi sto parole amar? Perché me palio cuore mi dormiente cadari non te scordar.
We never see him sing like that again in the show, so this is kind of a surprise moment, and obviously it's the real actor singing, and he's a good singer. Uncle Junior's got some pipes on him. However, I think the actual best singer that we see singing in the show, I'll give this to Nancy Sinatra, who sings in the last season, and it looks like they booked her for a private concert for Phil Leotardo's birthday.
Sitting picture still, all is calm, all is bright. Any way you can, just take my hand, take my hand, because
Beautiful, sweetheart.
I think she takes the cake as best singer in the show. But wait, there's a surprise contender.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Next category is the guitar, my favorite instrument. Surprisingly, there weren't too many guitar moments in the show, but there were a couple. Let's talk about them. The first guitarist in the show that I want to talk about is Janice. Let's see how she does. That seems to be the right response for that kind of performance. So the other guitarist on this show that I want to put on this list is the guitarist that was accompanying Uncle Junior's Italian Ballad at the end of season 3. There was this little moment that I guess as a musician I would get, and I'll explain it.
That's too high. No, bring it down.
So what he's doing there is called transposing the song. It's in one key, and then Uncle Junior thought it was too high for him, so he said bring it down. So he's transposing it, which means that live on the moment there, he can just transpose into another key. That requires a good amount of skill and musical theory and knowledge and just experience in general to be able to switch keys like that. So that guy is obviously good at what he does. I'll have to give him the Best Guitarist on the Show award for this. Next category is not specifically singers, but rappers. We have 2 big rappers on the show. First is my man, Massive Genius.
This is a beautiful, beautiful home.
Smaller than my Hamptons crib, but that's bigger than Stevens.
It's Italian contractors, obviously.
The only problem with the rappers on this list is that we don't hear them rapping. We got Massive Genius, and we got this other dude that Tony meets in the hospital in season 6.
They're running tests.
Thank you for giving my kid that CD.
Tony Soprano. Original G.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm going to have to give Best Rapper on the Show to Massive Genius, just because he seems to have more success than the other guy. He's got a bigger entourage, he's got a bigger house, he's got gold records all over his office, he's got like a shiny golden Desert Eagle gun. He seems to be doing pretty well for himself, whereas this other dude broke his arm and is in the hospital, and he's got 2 guys in his crew. Just based off looks, I'm giving this to Massive Genius. The next category on my list is bands, not just a individual performer, but full bands, a group of people playing together. First entry on the list is Janice and her narcoleptic boyfriend's attempt at breaking into the Christian music industry.
Be accepted. A major. By the Lord.
E major.
Rejected and abandoned. I don't know.
They gave up on that dream pretty fast, as they should have. Next.
You suck!
We have that incredible band that Adriana tried to produce in season 1. So whatever song that was, it's not the best choice, especially for that venue, which seems like a kind of a tougher bar. That was a live performance. Let's give them a chance. Maybe their actual stuff recorded in the studio will have more of a polish to it.
There must be a
Let's take 62.
So?
Well, I think it's not good.
Want to be a little more specific?
There's good and there's not good. This is not good.
I have to agree with Hesh. The best band performing in the show is this random band performing at Adriana's Crazy Horse Club. It's got that early 2000s edginess, hard rock kind of thing going on. They sound fine. They sound good. Way better than Janice and the narcoleptic guy. Okay, so my last category for best musicians on the show is the honorable mentions category. And this is a weird one. There were a lot of other musicians in the show that didn't perform music. What do I mean? Well, let's check out. The first entry on the list is Rusty Milio is played by, if you didn't know, Frankie Valli. As in, yeah, that Frankie Valli from Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. However, there was this little line from Christopher.
Some great Italian singers.
Fucking A. Frankie Valli, Dion, the Rascals.
If Christopher knows Frankie Valli, then Rusty Milio exists in the same universe as Frankie Valli, meaning that they're 2 different people that just happen to look alike. Rusty Milio is not Frankie Valli, and maybe he doesn't sing. Trying to make sense out of this. None of this matters, but we're having fun. If you didn't know, this random girl in the episode when AJ is vandalizing his school swimming pool, that's Lady Gaga. Obviously she was young here, looking like some typical Italian girl from New York, New Jersey in the mid-2000s. She doesn't have a name, this random extra background character, so to me that might as well be Lady Gaga. I mean, it is, but like in the show, that might as well be young Lady Gaga because she would be about the age of AJ, and she grew up in that area. Why not? In the same vein as the Lady Gaga entry, there's this dude.
This place, is it new?
I think maybe, I don't know.
There was a motel on this spot, though, right? The Haven Air?
I don't know.
Fucking guy.
That fucking guy that Tony is talking about is, if you didn't know, Lin-Manuel Miranda, the writer of the big Broadway hit Hamilton and In the Heights, but he's very famous in the theater world. Another entry on this list is, if you didn't know, Michael Imperioli has a band called Zoppa. I haven't really listened to his band Zoppa, so I don't really know if they're any good or not, but I have seen some videos where they seem to cover Velvet Underground songs, so maybe I will like them. The next person in the honorable mentions category is, I'm going to put Hesh here.
Mr. Herman Rapkin.
Hesh.
I don't know him personally, but I know his history. In the late 50s and 60s, he owned F-Note Records.
So in the late 50s and 60s, Hesh owned F-Note Records, which in the show seemed to do very well, because like Massive Genius, he's got a bunch of gold records behind him. And he's got a big horse farm, he's maintained his money well, and he seems to know a thing or two about music.
Music is music. Talent is talent. I don't care who you are. And I've seen them all.
I saw heavy metal invented by Hendrix at the Café Wa. Kid just came out of the army.
I said to him, kid, I don't know what you call it. Talent, charisma, magic, but you got it. These kids, they don't. Sorry.
He may not play an instrument, but he does seem to have a lot of musical knowledge, or maybe he knows his way around a studio, or he seems to be a good producer of records. So the final entry in my honorables mention category, who I'm going to say is the best honorable mention, best entry in this list, is...
You blow that whistle one more time, I'm gonna stick it up your fucking ass! Get off the field!
Silvio Dante is played by Steven Van Zandt, or Little Steven as he's known. He's a very famous guitar player. He's had many solo records, a career spanning decades. He's probably best known as a long-standing member of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. However, like the Rusty Milio Frankie Valli entry, there was, again, this little line from Christopher.
Where the fuck you been? You're late.
Highway was jammed with broken heroes on a last chance power drive.
In the universe of The Sopranos, Bruce Springsteen is real. Then Steven Van Zandt, who plays in his band, is real. And Silvio Dante is in that same universe, so they exist at the same time. They're different people. They just look really, really similar. If there were any other musicians or performances of note that I forgot to mention in this video, please let me know because, hey, if there's enough, maybe I'll make a part 2 or something. That is all for today. If you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.